Hi, I'm Kate. I'm part of the Environmental Education Project team at the District Council, and my Advent mission for you is to explore when you're doing your winter walks and find scenes that you might see on a Christmas card and look for evidence of the kind of wildlife you might sometimes see on a Christmas card. So birds very often feature on Christmas cards, and I've come down to the new feeding station at the bird hide, and there is a non-bird visitor checking out the facilities. So the Rosleston Rangers have been very busy over the last few weeks creating a dead hedge, so a hedge made up of sticks and stakes that have been cut down from the forest, and the birds can use that as cover so that they can approach the feeders safely. Now this is Beryl Badger, and Beryl's part of our sculpture trail, and in a minute I'll show you the rabbits which are also on our sculpture trail. So you can download the sculpture trail and follow it around the forestry centre. So if you explore the tree trail at the forestry centre, you'll also find examples of some of our traditional Christmas trees. So at the moment I'm looking at the spruce trees, and Norwegian spruce is a traditional Christmas tree that everyone's familiar with. But in more recent years, trees such as the pine have become more popular. This one's a Corsican pine, and then round further down the trail you can see a very fine example of a lodgepole pine, and in between we have some lovely holly as well. But each of the tree trail species has a board next to it which tells you a little bit about the tree and traditions associated with it. So this is the board that goes with the spruce tree, and all the tree trail boards, all the images and text can be downloaded from the Rosleston Forestry Centre website. So here we have another traditional Christmas favourite for you to look out for on your walk, and it's ivy. And ivy's great for making Christmas wreaths and for sheltering wildlife, and it's a fantastic food source. So here are my festive friends, the bunny rabbits, and quite often if you come round the forestry centre and look at the sculpture trail, you'll find on some of the stumps on a cold, wet, snowy day, a real rabbit might have been visiting, and real rabbits like to leave their droppings somewhere where they won't get cold bottoms. And here we are at the linear orchard that runs through the meadow, and it's a really good place to come and look for another festive favourite, and that's the blackbird. And quite often if you hear scuffling noises in a hedge or under the trees, and then it stops and then a minute later it starts again, you'll find that the creature making that noise is very often a blackbird looking for food. And one of the things that a blackbird really enjoys, especially in the winter, is an apple that's fallen off a tree and has been left to nature, and that's something to look out for and listen out for on your festive winter walk. So I'm finishing off my journey around the forestry centre in one of our meadows, and a very cute furry animal spends a lot of time in this long grass. In fact, there are many hundreds of them. And while you're walking around the forestry centre, you're never very far from a field vole. So you can see in the long grass there are all sorts of little tunnels where voles have got their runs, and you can see little paths in the grass that the voles use. So come out and have a look and see what you can spot. So here I am at the edge of the wildflower meadow and just looking into a really thick bramble bank. Now this bramble bank is a great place for creatures to hide, and we've also piled some of the cuttings from the meadow onto the top of the brambles because we were advised to do that to make some of these thickets more suitable for hedgehogs. So hopefully hidden in these bramble banks are some happy hedgehogs just entering into their hibernation in a safe place. So as I finish the walk around, it's just starting to go dark and there's a lovely, lovely sky. And when you're out and about over the festive period, you get to see the night sky as well at a much earlier time, so it's much easier for children to learn about stargazing at this time of year because they're still up when the stars come out, and stars are of course particularly festive. So I hope you've enjoyed coming on this festive winter walk with me. I think the last thing to remember is look at things through your eyes as well as through the lens of the camera or your mobile phone, because this sky looks really lovely through my phone, but it looks even nicer when I switch the phone off and just look around and enjoy the countryside.